It's a bit up. But if anybody needs to grab a coffee or whatsoever, do it now. Hi. Okay, Christo is here. Fine, great. Yeah, I will start sharing my screen, Christo, and then you can at any moment you have the right to share the screen. Every participant can share the screen. I think it's not limited. Yeah, so you could share right now. You can test if it works, Christo.
It's okay. If you say that I can share, then I believe you.
Yeah, test it. I mean, we are in the pre-time.
Okay. Testing this quickly.
Yeah, fine, perfect. It's great.
Great.
Okay.
Perfect.
Works.
Good.
Well, I'll go back to the greeting screen, share my screen. That's for all those who are already here. You can have a look, but I will go through them at the start of the meeting. Just
Ne bude Na zranku. Ona sad pojede sendvič jer ide.
დაიწყო.
Доброго дня, колеги.
could everybody please switch their microphone off? Please keep muted yourself. So hello everybody, welcome. Hi to Georgia. speakers are there.
Hi, Klaus. Nice to see you, even online.
Online, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see, we will start sharp. If somebody's late, they miss it, but we have a very dense program, so okay, so it's 4 o'clock. Off we go. I advise you the meeting is recorded. So when you don't want to be seen, switch yourself off. Otherwise, stay in the room. Recording starts now.
Recording in progress.
Welcome, everybody. There should also be the read start. I will just. It should work. Otherwise, if it does not work, we don't have the read AI. Edit read AI finds. So case given, you could send me the link afterwards because mine doesn't want to start. Okay, welcome to this webinar in the name of Rural Tour, European Federation of Rural Tourism, organized in the context of the European Union Pact for Skills and the Managing Project Pacts for All. I will quickly go through the house rules of the event to make sure that we are on the same level. As I said, this meeting is recorded. Please, everybody, keep your micro switched off, except those who are speaking after raising their hand. We organize the questions in such a way that after each of the presentations, we only admit any question about understanding what was said, not discussing, not asking questions, but just, I didn't understand this, could you clarify? The general question and answer is at the end of the event. We have 10 minutes booked for this, but please keep in mind the meeting, the recorded official time stops at 6, but everybody can stay in the room for further conversation, talking, question, etc. There is no time limit. We can keep talking. Just the official times are 90 minutes. So keep this in mind. And if you want to receive the meeting documentation linked to a recording, etc., please write your name and your email in the chat of this webinar. That's about the housekeeping. I will stop share and I give directly the floor to our first speaker, Christoph from Estonia, who will tell us everything about artificial intelligence we need to know. Christoph, please, the floor is yours.
Alrighty. Great to be here with all of you. And so I will give you a quick of an overview about what are the current best opportunities that in the sector of the tourism that you could take advantage of. And I will in the beginning give a quick information about the background and some strategic advice. And then for the majority of the time that I do have available, I actually do want to show you demonstrations as well. So my intention is that from the time we have here together, that you would get the maximum of the value. So give me just a quick moment. I'll share my screen and then we can begin. Alrighty. So here we go. And quick background about me. I have been focusing on AI implementations, and I also do AI trainings on a daily basis. So it has given me the opportunity to really practice a lot of different things and get a lot of feedback from a lot of companies. And based on the best of the best is what I'm going to share with you today. And I want to begin here. Alrighty, this from yes. So really quick background about me as well. I've been working with AI for quite some time, and then I've built different startups with AI as well. There have been about 3,000 participants in the trainings that I've been doing, and then for about 120 of the teams, I've had an opportunity to really go deeper together with them as well. And there's been quite a lot of different sized businesses and organizations and NGOs as well. So based on all of this experience, I've also been specializing in the tourism as well. So about 300 small and micro businesses have been participating in my trainings, and I've been really building up a personalized approach for the small micro businesses and also for NGOs and organizations as well. So this is kind of the quick of like the background that I am going to be speaking about. And as a quick introduction as well, then probably the majority of you already have some kind of experience with AI. You maybe have been using ChatGPT or some kind of another of an AI for trying different things. And there seems to be an interesting of like the paradox. So about 79% of businesses, they have shared, they do experiments with AI, but only about 5% are the ones who actually keep using it on a daily basis. And one of the main problems with that is this kind of like a fragmented approach. And one of the best solutions for that is to approach it in a strategic and holistic of a way. And this is what I want to share with you as well. So based on the tourism sector experience and like working with these organizations and NGOs, small micro businesses, then where we stand at the moment with AI is that the majority of people have some kind of an experience with AI chat. So you can think of this as using ChatGPT or some kind of like another tool. It's good to know that when you wanna like get bigger of an impact from AI, then the first step to continue into is actually like putting together an AI assistant. And you can think of it as essentially creating yourself a new of like a member into the team. So one of the foundational approaches we do with tourism sector teams is that like based on the uniqueness of what it is that you are providing, what are the services, who is the target audience, what kind of communication approach do you want to do, what kind of like the channels do you take advantage of. So these kind of very important aspects we can train into an AI assistant. And this is the topic where I want to do like a live demonstration as well. So kind of want to give you a bit of background context before we continue with that as well. So and it's just good to know as well that when you as an individual or when the team or the whole organization has been already getting good experience with AI assistants and how to train them, how to put them together, then like the next step in the evolution is essentially what quite a lot of people call AI agents. And like the main difference between an assistant and an agent is that like with an assistant, you still need to communicate and you need to give quite a bit of direction and you're essentially collaborating in real time. And what are we doing at the moment within the tourism sector as well is kind of like moving already into this space of AI-based agents, so that who can take an initiative, who are connected and integrated with all of the different platforms and different of like the tools that you do the daily job with at the moment. So this is essentially good to keep in the mind as the goal where you want to be moving towards that you train your assistants in such a good way that they have the capabilities of like an agent, and you can connect it with like the calendar and with emails and making changes on the website or inside the marketing campaigns. So and it's good to, my recommendation always is to take it in a step-by-step of like an approach as well. So continuing with that, then what I see, there are like three main different areas where in the tourism sector, taking advantage of AI can give the biggest positive impact. So beginning from strategy. So we now have these really powerful AIs who can really support us with like refining the strategic approaches. So this is one really good valuable aspect. Then another aspect is everything around communication and around the marketing. So including the website and including emails and including campaigns in Facebook or different channels. So we can train an AI assistant to really speak in the authentic of the tone that is that you would want it to be, and when we train it in a good way, the quality of this is so good that you don't really understand if it's just created with AI or in collaboration with AI and human, or just through a human. And then kind of continuing from there, one really valuable aspect as well is this topic of automations. So for example, for micro and small of the businesses, one of the most popular automations in the tourism sector at the moment is that when you get requests to like a service, or you get like a booking request, then we can connect your AI assistants with emails in a way that already when you open your inbox, let's say in the beginning of the day, then for the incoming requests that you have had, there is already like draft response. Then you can go through the response and make some changes if there would be like a need for it, and then you can directly send out that email. So essentially, these kind of small daily different activities, and because quite often if your team is small and you don't have a lot of resources, then these kind of smart automations can really make a huge of a difference. So continuing from here, want to continue with some practical demonstrations for you as well, and making switch here to ChatGPT, because that's one of the most popular AIs we have available at the moment. And then I want to show you what can we do with this approach here. So when I say that you can like train an AI assistant, then in practical terms, what I do mean by this is that if you now see my ChatGPT here, then in ChatGPT you have two different ways how you can like start creating an AI assistant for you or for the team. And one of these is called creating a custom GPT. Another one is called creating a project. And for the purposes of what we're doing at the moment, I do recommend this kind of an approach here. So let's say tourism AI assistant. And once this is created here, then one of the keys you do want to know is that you can give an instruction to an AI. So if you create it in ChatGPT or some kind of an alternative, and if you create it in this way, like I'm showing you at the moment, or with a custom GPT, you can essentially like build up an instruction. So this is essentially how we make ChatGPT to be almost like working as a personal assistant for us. And one of the keys to make this happen is you want to have a good instruction. And in the end of the presentation, I'll give you a reference to like a website where you can enter an email, and I can send you the prompts for that. Because at the moment we have quite a bit short of time, but like the main of the concept that we are doing in the tourism sector, and it's proven to give quite a lot of value, is that you would want to begin in this kind of way, that the instruction, you are an assistant for, then you would enter the company name here, or like the name of your organization. Our main value proposition is, so you would want to like bring out the main of what you are providing. Here's a list of our services or products. So you would want to specify like the main ones that you do have available. Then an important aspect here is that you want to really define who is the target audience for you. So our main target audiences are, and you would want to at least specify 3 of them as well. And one of the keys here is that you can like fill this out in like a manual way, or you can actually already take assistance from ChatGPT as well. So for example, you can copy paste this from here. And actually one more thing that I would want to show you here that really makes a big of an impact is in all texts that you write, always follow this tone of voice and brand guidelines. So essentially we can specify here what is the communication approach. Like you want to be more formal or more casual or whatever the case might be. So these are the main key different aspects that you would want to have inside of an instruction. When we are doing a sophisticated training, then the instruction can get pretty extended. So the more detail we are able to bring, the better of a value we are able to get from that as well. So let's say I continue from here at the moment, and I made a copy paste of that as well. And let's say we take the rural tour as an example here. So we could say it like this, that your task is to collect all relevant information for my AI assistance instruction from this website. And then fill in these empty areas in this draft instruction. And then I will paste here the instruction that we did. And then when we give that to ChatGPT, then it will essentially go to the website and we'll try to find all of the important aspects and then essentially put together the instruction for the AI assistant to be as powerful as it can possibly be. And so this is kind of like the basics. And when you do this kind of a simple of configuration, then already all of the responses that you will get from an AI, they are aligned with what you do, aligned with what you provide, aligned with the target audience, aligned with the communication approach. So there are, of course, different ways to like continue making this instruction more better and better. But as at the moment we are a bit short in time, then just want to wrap this up. And let's say I copy paste this here and go back to the project here and go to edit instructions. And now I put in the filled up instruction that is already like based on the information that got collected from the website. And when we would now start to communicate with this assistant, like the support, we would get this much higher quality. And then we could continue in this kind of like a way. What are the best ways for my organization, how to leverage AI tools like ChatGPT and others? Think in terms of strategy, communication and marketing, automations, etc. So I really recommend to have like this open communication with an AI. You can ask it questions and even with those two simple steps we did at the moment, you're probably gonna get pretty good of advice. So this is kind of like the quick introduction here. And as we do have the time today that we do have, then my recommendations to continue from here is that to do the steps that I showed you at the moment, and like until the point where you would engage your new member of the team, the assistant we created, with this kind of a reflective of a question to identify most valuable AI opportunities for you. So this is what I recommend to do. Then, because I've been working in the tourism sector quite a lot, then I have put together a lot of best practices as well. So you can copy paste different pre-made AI prompts that I have specifically designed for the tourism micro small businesses and organizations. So if you go to the website that I have put here, then you can enter an email, and then I can give all of that to you as well. And if what you saw today gave you some inspiration and you would really want to get the most out of AI, you can feel free to send me an email because I do trainings through the web, and I go through different of countries, and I would be it would be an honor of mine to like provide the skills and like the know-how that I've been able to build as well through the journey that I have been on, and especially like specializing in the tourism as well. So this was a quick presentation from me. Yeah, and I will end my screen share at the moment to be respectful of the time, and we can continue from here.
Thank you, Christo. I'm just thinking if we do this here, some colleagues may lose a job, or we do our job better. So I think that's a big point, but it was really useful because even the results were there immediately. So I will do this exercise for ourselves and see what comes up. Maybe it is better than all our board together finding our big answers to our big questions.
So essentially, like maybe like the conclusion from my side is that AI, it can be like a new member of the team, and if we give it valuable information and we have like a strategic approach to train the AI assistants, then yeah, you can get through a lot of the jobs we are doing on a daily basis, and even when you have a small team or small of the resources.
Okay, thanks, Christo. Is there any understanding question, just technical? Then please write in the chat or raise the hand. If this is not the case, then I pass to Hans Embacher from Austrian Farm Holidays, manager of the Federation in Austria. Hans, floor is yours. You can share the screen if you need.
Thank you, Klaus. Is that working now? No, it's not. You see my Teams now, yes?
Yes, we see everything. We see your
you see my live, okay.
PowerPoint.
I love it. Do you see the real screen now?
You should go into interpretation mode, I guess. Because
okay.
we see the full PowerPoint screen.
Yeah. That's fine. But this you see.
Yeah, we see that, yes.
Yeah. Not my not my contacts.
Not your life, no.
Okay, I go into presentation. This should work. No, it doesn't work. Wonderful. I think I need Christo to help. Okay, you see the slide now? Klaus, you see it properly now?
See one and the next one, but that's okay.
Okay, anyway. Okay, thank you very much. I'm very pleased to share some experiences with you. What we do with AI, we think it's a very big challenge for us in Austria. Afterwards, I'm happy to answer questions, and I'm also looking forward to the discussion on this AI issue. First, I want to show you just 2 or 3 pictures. What are we talking about? This is a typical farm in Austria. Our members have on average 2.5 guest beds, so very, very small tourism businesses. How do we work with them? How does it work? In actual fact, whatever we do, in the end, in Austria, it ends up on the website, where the guests look at the farms and then they either send an inquiry or book. It's working well. We are successful. On average, you look, it's up and down. Whenever we do a relaunch, we drop. That's the world. But at the moment, on average, we have about 5,000, 5,500 visitors per day on our platform, which is good for our standards. How do they proceed? Our members have their information in our database. We have a channel management where actually the information is sent out to the platforms. Also, this is a service which is very much appreciated by our members. In the end, through the channel management, what comes out? Last year, we made a turnover of roughly 30 million euros via our channel management. Out of this, about 1/3 is produced by ourselves, and 2/3 are by platforms like Booking.com, Expedia, Airbnb, and all the other big guys in the field. But they book through our channel management, so we can actually see how they perform and how it works. Okay, so it works well. We are successful. We are happy. And now AI comes and will be a complete game changer. So for us, there are many questions. We were happy and peaceful so far, and we enjoyed to be doing well in the market. But now many questions with AI. What is changing for the organization, for the hosts? Where can it provide support? Similar to that, what Christo said before. We have many instruments which we have worked out for our members, which will be replaced, which will be completely obsolete. Yeah, like that you can run your website through your mobile, and so what will remain is quite interesting. How and where will our content be found? At the moment, we like to believe it's all be found on the website. Will that change? Yeah, which tools and qualifications will we need in the future? Tools for the members, qualifications for our employees. And a big issue, maybe for discussion later on, we understand ourselves as a natural, authentic offer. And how do we fundamentally deal with this issue, artificial intelligence? Recently, I've seen a picture on some island in Denmark where every house had like a wind wheel, and I thought, oh, I have to go home and tell my wife, what I've seen, how wonderful, this is incredible, And I told someone in the coffee break, and they said, hey, Hans, this is not real. Doesn't exist, Okay, I was disappointed, but nobody told me this is not real. I thought the Danes, well, why not, So what is still real, and to what extent do we use AI for our presentation, for our members? Again, as our USB is the real experience, the authentic experience. So this is a big issue, I think, for discussion. Yeah, what are we actually doing? We are engaged since 23, 24. So we started a bit later than Christo before. We focus on comprehensive training. We train our employees. We try to train our members. So for our webinars, we look at this a bit later. Free webinars to the member farms, which are well appreciated. We try to provide our members with AI-based tools. I will show you later which ones. Well, so this is the challenge and what we are doing at the moment. I think the market is changing rapidly. This was one of the first webinars we did at the end of 23 by an AI expert, and people were interested. On such a webinar, we normally do it in the evening. We have about 10% of our membership as participants. So we have about 250 members participating. We usually start at 7 in the evening. They quite like it, and it lasts for maximum an hour and a half. So this was an introduction into AI, which we did. Another very successful webinar we did was by one of our employees, Esther. And I like that because we offered it only for beginners. We said, if you know what AI is about, don't take part. But if you are a real beginner, please come. And it was one of the best booked webinars we ever made. But we did not want to have experts there which ask questions which are much higher than that what Esther presented there. So here we try to teach the very beginners, so to speak, in our membership. For the employees, we did 4 webinars with one of the leading AI experts in Austria, a lady, she's called Manuela Machner. She introduces AI, gives us examples, let us practice. The focus with her was on ChatGPT. Here you see an example how we were practicing and learning the correct prompting. This was what Christo explained before. I'm sure you know about this, but there all employees were participating and learned and discussed how do you do it, how do you use it. What we did not so far, it just comes to mind, I still have the time, Klaus, is what I think would be helpful amongst our employees. With our provincial associations, we have a total of about 30 people working for farm holidays. Interesting and helpful would be an exchange of experiences amongst the employees. I think this would be helpful. What are you using? What are the obstacles? Often very important, what does not work? Because that you have champions, that they know how to do it. You always have it and the others keep quiet. So the interesting things are, where have you failed? What does not work, you know? So there we were taught ChatGPT. Yes, we did some deep research. This was, well, what was it? Frustrating for me. We did an exercise where I defined my personal role, and I applied for subsidies for farm holidays in Austria. And we did it for the ministry, and ChatGPT made this application perfect. All my work, all my brains, all my contents from the last, I don't know, 5 or 10 years were in that presentation. And I thought, wow, this is my job, you know? And ChatGPT can do it. So what will I do? And because often it's said that the AI will do simple things and we have more time for more elaborate things. Writing an application for subsidies in Austria is quite elaborate, and ChatGPT can do it. I mean, of course, you add a few things, but this was work for me for 2 weeks, and it did it in, I don't know, 10 minutes. So just an example for deep research. So sometimes it's a bit frustrating if you like to do your work. Yes, we also did for the employees webinars with Roman Ecker, who is also one of the leading experts in Tourismі AI in Austria. With him, we concentrated on processing pictures, presentations. Funny thing, we did a so-called design battle. So the task was to produce a calendar for the farmers. Every little group had 1 month. And it was fascinating. We made this calendar sheet for November. And it was just beautiful. But also we learned that AI is not perfect, because I presented my paper and the calendar was wrong. And I didn't believe that AI makes mistakes on calendars. So my calendar, the month had 33 days, 35 days. I didn't even look at the calendar. I thought, this is the simplest. So there are still things which you have to control and look at. So again, for the employees, we did this. We tried to bring some solutions for the members. Very simple in our website backend, you can do simple translation with AI support with people. That's simple. You can also have descriptions of pictures. This was a more interesting example for us. With our member farms, on our website, we have 130,000 pictures. And by law, we are obliged to, make them barrier-free. And I think we could not have afforded this without AI. And now with AI, this was a simple task that every picture has its description. And so the website becomes barrier-free and can be, I don't know, seen by blind people, or is described for blind people and other people which need barrier-free. So this was an exciting example. I remember when we well, now 10 years ago or so, when we made our website and then we forgot to translate it into English, or we forgot the budget for translation. I think this cost us then 120,000 euros. So it cost us a fortune just to translate the website. And I know a company in Berlin did it, and several translators were working on that. These jobs, I suppose, I don't know, are not needed anymore. So this picture naming was done yesterday, yes. And if they want, the members can correct them. So we give the members a sort of manual how can change. If they don't like the description which the AI did, then it can be changed. But this is very simple. It says a couple or the farmers stand in front of a farmhouse. In the background, you see mountains, and besides there is a cow or something. So it simply describes what's on the picture. So it's not very elaborate. But still, if the members don't like it, they can change it if they want. Okay, advantages: it's quick, it's simple. With the text, we can standardize tone and style. That helps. We can optimize the text for booking. Yeah, and it's barrier-free, so it improves the accessibility. What we also did, or did is good. We are working on it. Is like a text configurator. Text configurator means that on all text fields on the website of the farm, the text is optimized by the AI with the content which we have in our database. And even the next step will maybe that it can also be optimized from another website. So if this is the website on our platform, so if the farm has a private platform, we could take contents from there and optimize the text on our platform with that tool. So that is exciting. But this is already one of the first things, again, which we need to discuss. It's, of course, a perfect text by the AI. And it can be, how shall I say, tuned towards the style and the personal note of the farmers. But I'm sure many will not do it. So we will have, I suppose, perfect text there. But I think only the actives one will process the text and adapt it to their own personal character. So this is going to be exciting. Okay, these are the first tools we are working on. We are excited what is still to come. Yeah, look forward later on to questions and to discussion. And as you see, we are still the real thing. And we are not quite sure. Well, we're sure AI will help us, but we're not quite sure what will come out in the end. Well, 5:15, Klaus. Thank you.
Thank you, Hans, for exacting time. You will send this presentation, I hope, because I had some comments in the chat that due to the double screen, it was difficult to read the main
sorry.
page because it wasn't full screen. It was half screen.
Sorry.
So we had a problem there, but the comment came late. I thought you were aware of that. But okay.
No.
I
You
think
should have
can-
told me. Sorry, I have two screens, but I thought you see only one.
No,
Sorry.
we saw the two ones of them. Anyway, too
Okay.
late now.
Okay.
But if you can just provide the presentation in PowerPoint in PDF, and then we can send it around.
Put it forward. Sorry, two pictures sound a bit like too much alcohol. Everything's fine. I'm sober.
Okay. Thank you, Hans.
Okay, you're welcome.
Any understanding questions to this presentation? I think it was all pretty clear. There's no hands. Okay. Then I move to another group of entrepreneurs, because so far we had a general overview and some practical hints from Christo. We had the view from rural farm tourism, and now I give the place to Alejandra Saiz de Miera, who represents the European tourist guides. I hope it is correct now, because you
Yeah, right.
you told me it's not tour guides, it's tourist guides, which is also micro enterprises, one single person usually, or maybe a team of 2 or 3. So as we are extending the scope of the webinars, not only for rural tourism or accommodation, but also for any small services that can make use. So Alejandra, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I'm going to, I have some images. Well, no, very complicated here, huh? Where do we find it? Share my screen. Damn.
Not yet.
No, can't
No.
find it. It's here.
It was below. You found it before, I think.
It is there, I promise. It is there. Well, never mind. I'm not going to take your time on that. Anyway, let me explain what I wanted to give you some examples of what the life of a tourist guide is. So, of course, small business like Klaus was saying. And what we do, for example, is we use AI for information. Information is the key to our job, of course. We use it quite a bit with translations. We have lots of material that come in different languages, could be oral, could be written material, and the fact that we can translate it immediately, it's super helpful for us. It's very good. At the same time, guides are always learning. So now you know that, for example, we can practice our languages and do it with AI that will give us homework, or will also give us tools like flashcards, will correct our pronunciations. So it is quite practical to have this for our everyday life. For example, itineraries. So we do have a group, we have several days with them, and with AI we can make an itinerary, but we do have to view, review, check and recheck, not once or twice or 3 times the information, because of course human eye is what comes in here. Experience is what tells you when something can go wrong. Sometimes AI sends you somewhere, and of course there's closures, or there's something happening that was not known. So we have to really verify everything. For example, in a museum, and I can ask AI what would be the best visit to the Louvre Museum, and he sends me on an aisle that's completely full of people, so I cannot pass by, or actually closed by the agents of the museum. So that, and then I have to improvise. I need to have some background knowledge that, of course, AI will not be able to solve. Let's put it like that at that second. No? Before we used to do it by hand. We had our little maps, and then we would do drawings and then write some arrows and numbers, and that's how we would do an itinerary, or how we would do a visit to a museum. And about visiting a museum, a couple of days ago, I had a visitor that took a photo of one of the pieces that I was talking about, and later asked AI what it was. And he came back to me the next day, but of course he was more confused than relief, let's put it like that, because the AI will give him tons of information, and he didn't have the context. We were not in the museum anymore, so I had to go back to the beginning of our visit, where I would explain things, but I'm sure that was not clear because, of course, it goes in a general way. And you do have to give him exactly the information that you need. I'm sure Cristo can tell us how do you do that technically. But of course, at that moment, he just got a general response, and I'm afraid it was not what he wanted or what he was worried about. Maybe sometimes we do have, for example, something that's extremely useful for us is reconstitution of a room. For example, we go to a chateau. Chambord is empty. It's a chateau from the Renaissance, has no furniture, nothing. And with visual aids, we have this reconstitution of the room, and you can see the room. Of course, you don't see it with people. It doesn't give you an explanation, but you can see what it would have looked like at the time of the kings. Then you have to have a guide that will explain, that would explain and give you further information of what you're looking at. So always, refer to a guide. And talking about guides, tourist guides, long time ago, they told us that we will be totally out of business with several things that were, coming, technology, audio guides, for example. Audio guide, yes, but audio guide can probably give you an explanation about a painting, but I do get some questions. You're going to laugh probably, but I get questions about the frame. So of course, AI is never going to tell you anything about the frame of the painting, and it's going to tell you about the painter, it's going to tell you about the time period, the history, the museum, the room, but never about the frame. And sometimes that's the kind of questions that I get. So you see, you never know who's you're going to be in front of, and again, the human contact and the human knowledge is what would be the solution for these cases. We, in FEG, we are an association of tourist guides from Europe, and we have a very big training department. And for trainings, of course, you know that AI is wonderful, not only gathering all the information for all the research that requires a webinar, a training, but also to make it more interactive. So of course we use all kind of tools to reenact something that could make it more clearer, more interesting. And one thing that touches me personally is that gives me the minutes of the meetings. So because my job is to take notes of the meetings, and I am doing it right now. Believe it or not, I have my notebook here. But I know that AI is going to send us a meeting, a review, and that's also very good. It helps me win lots of time, but I have to verify everything because it takes the names wrong. It misquotes the speakers. So, I do continue taking my notes all the ways, but I win a lot of time having these minutes from the meeting coming from AI. And one thing I'm afraid I cannot show you, I'm really sorry it didn't work, my presentation, is that through AI, I have finally met the historical characters. Yes, because AI has reconstructed the faces of famous people, or people that you want. So I finally met Napoleon. Napoleon, you probably don't know, but all the paintings and all the sculptures and the statues that we have of Napoleon, the face is different. So through AI, putting all that information together, getting what would be, of course, coincident, where you have the same features. He created the face of Napoleon, not only, but I can finally see all these characters. Or, for example, if I'm in an archaeological site, I can see the place, what it looked like at the time, or we can see a battle. When you arrive to a battlefield where there's nothing left, we can see the battle using, of course, all these visual aids that AI facilitates for us. So Of course, research is super important for us too, and we win a lot of time if we are able to give AI all the line what Christo showed us earlier. So if we give, the more information you give, the better result you're going to get. And for research, it's super important to have all this. Again, a short anecdote. I was also doing a tour of the famous Louvre Museum, and my guest asked, but we were inside the museum, and that's important. My guest asked at that moment, the chat GPT, what was the life of Leonardo da Vinci like? And she got a response that was so long that I finally felt useful, because of course I was going to give her in a couple of minutes all the information that would have taken her a lot more minutes reading through the response that she got. And maybe the question was not asked in the right way, but of course the AI will get all information from all over the world and from different places. And to resume, to put into one answer 3 biographies of Leonardo and things like that, you can imagine there's thousands of words. All right. Now, the conclusion, of course, to this very short exchange is with you, to present you the human contact, the fact that you have a tourist guide can never be replaced. I'm doing a little bit of publicity to us, to our profession, because of course it is true that you get lots of information, you get itineraries, but the human eye. It's also super important, and for us, is the human contact that's most important. So always, my advice: use a tourist guide, and I hope to see you in your next tour somewhere in Europe. I will put, of course, our website where you can find your wonderful tourist guides all over Europe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alejandra. You raise in a certain way the same question that Hans raised before. The contrast between standardized or automized information and the human touch, the real experience that we really want to transmit when we have a small hospitality service or a small tourist service, where basically tour guides, small restaurant, small home, private accommodation, the essence still is a person and the personal touch. And the point is, will AI substitute this? Yes, no, in how far, or how can we make them compatible? So I think the discussion is served. Thank you very much. Any understanding questions to Alejandra? I think she was an excellent example of an operating tour guide, because she was excellent in presentation and clear words, easy to understand. So congrats. Now we move to 2 practical cases. One speaker was not able to come, but she recorded a video. So I will share this, and then we have at the end a case, Andrea, from a small hotel business. But Andrea, you are last, so I put the video first, and then I hope I manage this video file. So share, and this should be this one, and then it should work.
Hello, my name is Tiina Kuular from Estonia, and I'm a winemaker, winery owner, entrepreneur, author.
Quick question, you hear her as well, right? The sound goes through.
Yes, Klaus, we do hear her as well.
Okay, fine, perfect.
And also I make quite a lot of things, and almost everything I make with use of ChatGPT. And my path to start to use artificial intelligence was from total non-believer to total believer. I had one quite a bad experience a couple of years ago when one wine tourism site created an article about Estonian wineries, and almost every second sentence was total crap, and no any facts and no any truth about it. And I was sure that I will never use artificial intelligence. But slowly I started to understand that maybe just my first experience was wrong. And now I really use ChatGPT almost every day. What I'm doing? At first, my business is Valgejõe Veinivilla White River Winery. This is northernmost winery in Estonia. Also, it's the oldest one. It's established in 2014. Mostly we make fruit and berry wines and also a little of grape wine. We have wine tastings, events with food and without food, wine games, cooking classes. Also, I write the books and organize trainings about wine and winemaking. Then I am a board member of Estonian Wine Trail, which brings together 27 Estonian wineries and wine producers. Together, we organize different events, for example, Open Wineries Day, wine festivals. We go to fairs, exhibitions, and promote Estonian wine culture. And we make some advertisement materials together, and we are like colleagues to each other. And also I write books about wines and winemaking. Well, for what I use ChatGPT, which, by the way, how I started to become a heavy user was I went to Kristo Peterson's courses, which were organized by Estonian Rural Tourism, and this was one of my best decisions of last years, to be honest. Of course, easiest way is to create marketing texts, press releases, Facebook and Instagram materials with help of ChatGPT. It also gives me some advertisement plans. If I, for example, want to organize dinner, festive dinner, then it gives me exact plan how often should I promote, on which days, and how early before the event. Then very good tool it is for different price offers and menu offers for groups. Mostly we host bigger groups from 10 to 50 people, and then all the offers must be made very carefully. And yes, of course, I can speak some English, but as a translator, ChatGPT works quite very well. And it helps to translate all my texts much better than I could ever do. Also, I asked for creation of wine-related services and games, and all these descriptions of some packages what ChatGPT offered me were so nice that me myself, I immediately felt that yes, I want to participate on this event. And second big part where I use ChatGPT is for different recipes and menus and food buying lists and timelines and workflows. And for example, if I have a recipe for 4 people, but I will have 40 then it recalculates very quickly all the recipes and also gives me buying lists. And also I use it for different analyze, for example, which is our best-selling wine for last 7 years. Just I give the data and it calculates it within maybe a minute. So simple examples. I need an invitation to wine lounge or Christmas lunch offer or something, and then I just enter my different notes, and the result is very elegant and with beautiful words, text to send to groups or people. And as I already said, catering for large groups. And this recalculation, of course, I always check, as I have been on cooking classes quite a lot, and I know the real formula of calculations. I check was it right or was or wasn't, but usually all the recalculations are correct. Just a couple of months ago, I had a very good opportunity to use quite widely this large group cooking event. We have a service of cooking together, but it's on maximum 8 people. But then there was a big group, 20 participants, and they really wanted to have this cooking together event. Then I gave a task to ChatGPT that, well, the menu is this and this and this, and we have 20 people. What do you think? How can we organize it a better way? Okay, we divided participants into smaller groups, and the best was that ChatGPT told me all the timeline and workflow of which group can start with dessert, preparing dessert, and at the same time bake the bread. And another group starts to grill meat, and until the meat grills, they also can prepare some salads. And it was a great help. And finally, everything was ready exactly on time, and everybody knew what to do. And of course, all the recipes immediately in English, in good English. And if I had to do it my own, it took me, I think, about half a day to plan all this. So yes, this was a really good event. And also I have wrote 4 books about winemaking and running my winery. And ChatGPT already has access to all my previous texts. So it knows everything what I have written before. And right now I am preparing for a new book. And ChatGPT helps me by organizing and structuring the chapters, and suggests what else is important. Maybe I could think about some new chapters to add to my book, but which is really very important to me, that the writing is always mine. I don't write books with ChatGPT, or it does not write for me, but it only helps to organize through structure and so on. And of course, ChatGPT is not the only one which I could use, but right now I mostly use ChatGPT, and it does not help me with visual files, pictures, or PowerPoint. And of course, it does not help me to make wine, but it can help me to give some suggestions about making wine. So, ChatGPT is my assistant. Actually, I have even two assistants. One is for my winery and one is for Estonian Wine Trail. And it saves me really a lot of time. But I had to learn how to use it to give clear instructions, and sometimes ask once again and giving better instructions, and sometimes even 3 or 4 times, and it improves the answers until I am satisfied. But really, I don't believe every word what it says. I control all the way all the answers every time. So thank you for listening.
Well, my problem is how do I get out of this sharing again? Christo, you're clever. How can I stop this sharing? Because when I share, it says again, screen, stop sharing. Okay, share, nothing whatsoever. No.
Maybe you could ask ChatGPT.
In the bottom, you have the share button, and maybe
Yeah, that's fine.
disable.
Nope. Share. Nope. One person can share at a time, and when I don't dare to push the end button because that's ending the video file. Document screens.
It might be Zoom credit.
Well, I'll try to share screen first, and then I stop sharing, and then that's it. That was a workaround, but it worked. Okay, so now we have as a last second practical case, Andrea Santiago.
Hello, everyone.
And yourself, and then we enter in the quick Q&A. Andrea, the floor is yours.
Let's see if I can share the screen. Before that, I want to say that all the speakers introduced very good ideas, and I feel like I'm just a summary of them. But anyways, I will introduce my case. So I'm going to try to share the screen. Let's see if we can do that.
Seems to work, yeah. Now
that.
just go in presentation mode to avoid what we had with Hans before.
Can you see that full screen now?
Yeah, it's full screen. Perfect.
Perfect. So again, hello everyone. I am Andrea Santiago. I am the operations manager at Suite Accommodations. Very quickly, we are just a accommodation company in Spain. We have accommodations in the south of Spain and in the north of Spain. And our goal is to deliver authentic guest experiences. And even though we have accommodations in different parts of the country, our team is still very small because we manage everything remotely. So as a small team, we live in a reality that I think most of us small companies share, which is that we have limited resources and the team does a lot of different things, not only one. And at the same time, the expectation of the guests is rising. They want full attention, personalized attention, fast replies, everything, all the time. And that sometimes can be a little bit overwhelming for the team when you are just like 5 people. So we really faced this reality, and this is where AI came into our life, basically. So I will just tell you how we faced the challenges that we identified with AI. So first, I will tell you what challenges we had. Here you can see 2 of them, even though the first one divides into 2, more or less. So the first one was communication. both with the team, so within the team, but also external with the guests. So first of all, the guests are asking the same questions every day, all the time. So the team handles a lot of interactions all day. People usually ask, like, what is check-in time? What is checkout time? Do you have breakfast? Where can I park my car? What is the Wi-Fi password? And even though the questions are always the same, at the end of the day, each person has a different way of speaking. So the answers that people got were different. The tone was not the same, and the communication was not being clear with guests. In an internal way, when a more specific request came up, or a new procedure was introduced, or maybe something that does not happen that often, but they need to manage, it happened. The receptionist usually ended up having to look between all of the documents where we have our process or protocols, or maybe searching an old email that had the explanation of it, or they ended up asking a colleague and waiting for their answer. And this caused that the management of the situation was delayed. At the end of the day, it could not have been solved, or it took more than it should have took. So the information was not clear, it was scattered, and that ended up resulting in delayed answers, wrong information, and the communication was not good. And at the same time, we also faced another challenge, which was the owner reputation. We were receiving a high volume of reviews on all of our platforms, like Booking, Airbnb, Google. And owner reputation nowadays is very important, because all of us, when we are going to book a hotel or an apartment, we always check the reviews and what the other people that had been there before said, and how did the accommodation respond to them. For us, it was impossible to answer all of the reviews with all the different languages, because you had to translate it, then think of an answer, translate it, and publish it on the website. So it was taking too much time that we could not invest. And also the same thing, that each person speaks differently, so the answers maybe were not, they didn't have a common tone or a common structure to it. So all of this sums up in communication at the end, and we were thinking, like, how we want to communicate, how can we communicate faster and more efficient, but without losing that human connection that we were speaking all the time. So with these challenges identified, we ended up implementing AI in 3 different ways in suite accommodations. So one thing that we did is that we created an internal knowledge base for the team. With ChatGPT, as Christo showed before, we created some assistants. As we work in 3 different cities, we created an assistant for each city, and we trained them with all our protocols, processes, policies, recommendations, everything that a receptionist needed to know. It's in the assistant. So when a receptionist or a person from the team needed to answer a question that was a bit more specific, or even when introducing a new procedure, or even for when a new person came into the team, if they did not know how to solve something, they can just go to the assistant. They ask the question to the ChatGPT assistant, and they will get the answer instantly. The good thing with this is that the answer will be always the same. It will always have the same tone and always the same level of detail. So the information is there, quick and clear. And this shortens the response time and the managing time of situations, because they do not have to look for the information or wait for an answer from a colleague. So this was a very good solution that we found for like the internal communication. Then for guests, we created some virtual assistants as well. As I was saying before, guests always ask the same questions all the time: check-in time, check-out time, Wi-Fi password, parking spot, I don't know, those kind of things. So also the team had to be investing their time in answering these questions always, which also tires them, you know, they get tired of always saying the same information. So we created some chatbots with this basic information, and they are available in our website and also in WhatsApp, in our WhatsApp number. We did that with our with the help of our communication platform. And so when a guest texts and asks one of those questions, the chatbot directly answers. This way, the team can actually invest their time in more high-value tasks, like, for example, helping the guest that really needs help for something more specific or a real problem, or even talking with the guest that they have in front of them. So yeah, it has been a very good solution. And then the last way that we applied IA for us, I think this one is the first one that we actually use. We have been using it for, I think, 2 or 3 years already. Is an assistant for answering the online reviews. We actually have used different platforms, but all of them have something in common. We need an assistant that generates the responses for us. Here, you have to keep in mind that the assistant only generates the answer. They do not publish it, because with the other 2 assistants, you have objective information. Check-in time is at this time, Wi-Fi password is this one. But here with the reviews, you're getting more subjective, you're getting opinions. So you need to revise what the assistant is answering the guest in your online platform. So the assistants that we have used and that we use nowadays, they analyze their review. And if it's a positive review, it will highlight the positive aspects that were mentioned. But if it's a bad review, then it will take a more empathic tone. And then the receptionists only have to revise and publish. And also, it's all in one platform. You do not need to log into Google, into Booking, into Airbnb, and then go translate it. No, it's just everything in one platform. So this saved us hours and hours every week. And also, all of them, of the answers, they have the same tone. So your professional tone, your company culture is reflected there as well. With these solutions, we identified 5 key point results or benefits that I can share with you. So first one is efficiency, because of course the team now does not have to answer everything all the time. They can invest their time in what's really important. Then consistency, because the information is always the same for every guest and for every team member. Also a better guest experience, because at the end of the day, they are getting what they want, which is fast replies. And also when they need something important and real, there's a real person for them. Then also a happier staff, because they feel safe. They feel like they have a backup of information with them. So when they have a weird situation, they can just go there, ask, and have the solution instantly. They do not feel like they are alone at any moment. And also, as they are not doing the same thing all the time, they do not get that tired. So their efficiency at the same time is growing. And lastly, our reputation is stronger, because as all the reviews are actually answered, you get more credibility. It's just as simple as that. When a guest wants to book and they see in your reviews that you are answering and taking care of the guest even when they left, it gives you more credibility. It shows them that there's a person behind the screen. And this is how you still get the human touch and the human connection and for the guest and for the team. This was not an easy process, of course, and there were some learning along the way that I'm going to share with you. The first one is that you need to keep your information updated. If you change a protocol or a process, but you do not give the updated information to the AI, it will give you back wrong information, outdated information, and that can end up being a bigger problem than a solution. Because if you change your check-in time for an hour later, but a guest asks and it gives you the it gives him the original time, our guest will want to enter at the original time that the AI set. And that can end up frustrating the guest, creating a bad experience, which is not what you want to get. So it's very important that you keep your information updated. Then I think this is the most important learning and advice from me is that you need to, if you have team with you, working with you, you need to involve them in the process. Sometimes people feel a bit afraid of AI because they think it will substitute us. So you need to make them feel involved in the process of implementing the AI and training it. At the end of the day, they are the ones in the front line. So their feedback is crucial for you, because if they see that the chatbot, for example, is giving an answer that's not right, they can tell you. They are the ones that are going to identify that. So making them part of that training, involving them in the process of implementation is very important, so that they can see it as a tool that actually will help them. Then, as we were saying all the time, you need to balance AI, technology, and human touch. At the end of the day, we always want a human with us. So you need to know how to balance that. Even if you have a chatbot answering the guest, if you need to keep an eye on that conversation. If the guest is getting frustrated because the chatbot's not giving the right information or the level of detail that they want, you need to be able to identify that, so that you can pop in the conversation and say, hello, how can I help you? Do you want to call? Do you want me to call you? You need to know that balance. And you have to train your team to know in that balance as well. And the last thing is that you need to start small. This is a very big change that cannot be made in just 1 week or 1 day. You need to start slow. Identify your challenges. Think of ways of how you can solve it, or in which areas do you need help, and then start solving them one by one. If you aim to do that all at the same time, it will probably not work well, because everything will get mixed and you will get frustrated and you will just throw it away. So identify your challenges very well and go one by one. And the last thing is, my conclusion is that AI is not only for big companies. You need to have a strategy. You need to contact real experts that can help you implement AI in your company for your needs, because each person has different needs and each company has different needs. And with experts, you can find the right tools and the right strategy to implement them for you. And for us, AI is now one of our team. It's not only a tool, and it helps us a lot delivering consistency, helping the team and helping the guests. So that's basically it. Thank you so much for hearing me. I left my email right there, just in case you need to contact me or you want to contact me. And if you have any questions, I'm here for you. I will stop sharing my screen right now.
Yeah, thank you, Andrea. Your email is not yet in the chat. Please maybe put it in the chat as well right now, so people can contact you. Anyway, if you include it in the presentation, we will send this around, include it, so everybody can contact with everybody. No problem. Now I have a bad notice and a good one. The bad one is that we are almost in the time limit and we should finish. The good one is